Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 21 of Bardic Quest, the show where a group of British trained actors tell fantastical improvised stories through the medium of Dungeons and Dragons. A brief reminder to everybody, if you are watching on YouTube, please do hit subscribe and the like button as well to help appease the algorithm gods. And for those of you listening on podcast, please don't forget to rate and review the podcast on your podcatcher of choice. So, with that out of the way, let's not waste any time and let's dive straight on in to this week's episode of Bardic Quest. Last time, in a very tense end to an episode, after having been rejoined by Johann, who had informed them of his new intel that a red wizard had been reported operating in the local area, they, as a group, decided that perhaps investigating the Redbrands might be a good place to start. And so, after much debate and deliberation, the group decided that Saga should try and lure as many of, or at least a Redbrand, to spill the proverbial beans on what the hell might be going on. So, she disarmed herself, gave her equipment to Johann and Thorik to keep, as she headed to the Sleeping Giant Taphouse, with Sergei tailing not far behind her to keep an eye out. In a rather tense exchange, Saga was stopped at the door of the Sleeping Giant Taphouse by 4 of these ruffians, shall we say, who were not too keen on letting her enter at first, but one, perhaps more weak-minded of them, felt that it was appropriate to show her into the Sleeping Giant Taphouse, to allow her to enjoy the good time that these guys have to offer within the Sleeping Giant Taphouse. Yeah. And so we left off just as Saga was entering unarmed into the proverbial lion's den that is the Sleeping Giant Taphouse. So, you enter, Saga, and you enter into the Sleeping Giant Taphouse to see a very rundown, certainly by comparison to the Stonehill Inn, a very rundown place. Despite the number of people in here, it's actually oddly quiet.
Okay.
There are a good 10 to 15 really rough-looking people in here, mostly men, who are just quietly sipping on their beers. There's this silence, really, as you walk in.
Ooh.
And they're kind of looking at you, a lot of them leering at you, quite literally. There's just this ominous silence going on. And, yeah, it's just really unpleasant. There's cobwebs everywhere. There's like leaking pipes with like dripping beer and stuff onto the floor from the ceiling. It just doesn't look like it's been very well looked after. And there is a woman who is behind the bar filling up some glasses, who is, if memory serves, yes, she's a rather surly-looking female dwarf. Also looks quite rough. Not the most pleasant-looking woman, for sure. What would you like to do?
Okay, so they've let me in. Have they stayed outside the four, or have they come in as well?
Yeah, they're very much stood in the doorway at this point.
Okay. Stood in the doorway, but are they coming in, or are they staying outside?
They don't look to be keen on moving from where they're stood.
Okay, that's fine. She's gonna put on her best. I'm a clueless bimbo, know nothing, I'm no threat, which is going to be difficult because she's quite hench, but she's going to try her hardest. She's going to try her hardest, and she's unarmed, so, you know, doe eyes and everything. She's going to go to the bar.
Me?
little old me.
Okay, so you head on over to the bar, and this dwarf is there. She looks puzzled to see you here, and doesn't seem too welcoming, to be honest. And she just goes, "Hi?
Hi!
What do you want?"
I was hoping one of these boys would buy me a drink.
She looks around.
And then I just sit on the bar and try and be like, it's going to look awkward and be like, hi.
She looks around.
So awkward.
And you look around, and just everybody's just staring at you. The silence is still very strong.
I'm going to try and pick out the one who's staring at me the most. Can I find one who's like really staring?
You've got quite a few to choose from.
The closest one who's
The
really
closest
staring.
one.
And then I'm going to like, smile. I'm gonna, like,
There's a guy.
try and beckon him over.
Yeah, you see this guy. He's got about 5 teeth left in his mouth.
Oh, God.
He's missing a finger. And he sidles on over to you, and he sits next to you at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Well, I know you don't come here often."
You're so perceptive. No, I don't. Hi.
Never seen you before.
I'm new to town.
How are you now?
Mm-hmm.
And where are you from exactly?
Coneyberry.
Oh.
It's really far.
Oh, that town's not been around for some time.
No. I've just been. I spent most of my time in Neverwinter.
Oh. One of the big city folk then, are you?
I guess so. But I'm a country girl at heart.
Yeah.
How about you? What's your name?
Tommy.
And her voice is higher pitched than it usually is.
Right. He goes, I'm Tommy.
Hi, Tommy.
What's yours?
And she goes, Laura?
Give me a deception check, please.
Laura! Laura!
Hey, it's a woman's name.
Do you say it like that, though? Laura!
No. Well, we'll see how good my deception check is. Oh, fuck. It's a 7.
He goes, you had to think about that, didn't you?
Okay, fine. You caught me. and then she leans in, tries a different tactic, and goes, "Don't you ever just like to, pretend to be someone else?" And she winks at him.
No, I don't.
Okay, I just I hate my name. It's Sally, okay?
Sally.
Yeah.
Right.
Just don't spread it around.
He goes, "Hey guys, we got Sally here, all the way from Neverwinter. Come to spend time with us boys."
Yeah. I've never seen quite such a rugged bunch of lads before.
He lets out a big, half toothless grin.
Oh God.
And he goes, "Yeah, we are quite a rugged bunch. So, why have you come here, specifically here?"
Well, a little birdie told me this is where you can have the most fun.
Oh, there's plenty of fun to be had here, but what type of fun are you after exactly?
Well, if you have to ask. I'm feeling really lonely. I'm in a new town, and I was hoping I'd find a handsome man to show me a good time.
Oh, is that why you beckoned me over to the bar, is it?
Well, I could see that you were staring at me. How about you buy me a drink?
He thinks for a moment. Give me a persuasion check.
Please, please, please.
This guy's got such high standards.
I know. He doesn't have any fucking teeth.
Yeah, and
Oh,
he's
18. 18.
18.
Boom.
Yeah.
He looks you up and down, and he goes, "Yeah, all right." And he calls the dwarf over, and he goes, "Grista, she looks like a wine lady to me. Could you give me your finest wine, please?" And Grista goes, "Aye." She goes around and gets a rather dusty-looking bottle from underneath the bar, uncorks it, and pours you some wine.
Oh,
And
thank you.
he leaves a few silver on the bar, and she comes and takes it. And yeah, we'll jump over to the Stonehill.
Yes.
I love that he's playing hard to get with no teeth.
I know. I'm sorry. Saga may be hedge, but she is attractive. For fuck's sake.
Hey. That's fun. The only non-insecure bandit in the whole world.
An
Well, I'm quite happy
awkward
the way I am.
They can't keep their hands off me.
You were intended to be someone else. No. When you look like this, what fire is there to go?
Who is he? Jason Statham or something?
Not all confident people are good looking. You know? So, Thorik and Johann.
He's better come. So I'm about
You
to
are
look at the
currently
file.
in the Stonehill Inn, and Thorik, you're boring the tits off of Johann with your detailed lesson and lecture on brewing, which Johann, I don't think you had really asked for. But once you've started Thorik on this, you just can't stop him. As Thorik is continuing on the advanced stages of brewing, you see this old woman with a headscarf come in. She's still got 2 coins in her hand, and she's stops in the doorway, and she looks around, looks over at you, carries on looking around, and then looks back at you, and you can see the cogs whirring in her head. And she walks over, and she says, "You're the dwarf and the hooded man, I think."
Due to muscle memory, Johann reaches for the hilt of his knife in case she's an assassin in disguise.
And so when you ferment the beer, you have to make sure that it's completely airtight.
And she points at you, Thorik, and she goes, "You must be Johann."
Hello there. No, this fine gentleman here is Johann. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. Johann, and your friend. Forgive me, I've forgotten the other name.
Thorik.
Hello, Thorik. Yes, hello. Johann and Thorik. Your little boy has sent me with coins to tell you that he's down the road.
And Thorik turns very serious and looks at Johann. Is like, thank you very much for your help. You've really done us a great favor. And he stands up and like gives her a very like polite kiss on each cheek.
Johann's immediately like, "Yep, thank you very much for your time. Let's go.
Very whiskery.
She blushes.
This is the best NPC ever.
She goes, "Oh, you're a strapping man, aren't you?"
Yes. What was your name? Sorry.
Margaret.
Oh, Margaret, you're a diamond. I hope to see you again soon. Take care of yourself now.
Yes, yes, I don't know. I don't think he specified, but I don't know if he wanted to meet you there or if he just wanted me to tell you that he's there. But he's there, just down the road, hiding behind a barrel.
That's very useful information. Thank you very much. Yes, we're going to go meet him now. We're heading to the barrels.
Righto.
See you soon then.
Bye.
Thank you for your pains, old woman.
And she walks back. She kind of shuffles back out the door.
Slaps Johann on the back of the head. It's like, just listen to the old woman. Be polite. You're in a new place.
Forgive me, I had no intention that you were planning to marry her, but we have things to do.
He just starts mimicking. He was like, "Don't come here, dwarf, an old woman, maiden."
Come, Master Dwarf. They may be in danger.
Yes, leggy human.
So Johann leaps up with all haste and darts out the door, and presumably Thorik, you are hurrying behind him.
Probably carrying all of Saga's things that Johann's left on the table. He's like, "Don't worry, I'll get it." Just starts like lading himself with like the hammer, the great sword, the chainmail, like
All right, so you head down the street as fast as you can. Particularly you, Thorik. You're making a lot of noise as you're carrying all this chainmail on top of your own. Almost like a one-man band at this point.
Yeah.
And Sergei, you hear them coming before you see them, and you turn and you see Johann and this pile of armor walking towards you.
He's trying to like stealth run across the road.
Do you want to give me a stealth check?
Sure, why not?
With disadvantage because you are in the middle of a road.
I'm going to quickly run up to them and stop them before they get in eyesight of the tavern.
Nat 20.
Oh, with disadvantage though, right?
The other one was 18. So
18. So 18.
Right. So
no,
you
+3, that's 21.
all right.
This is the stealthiest walk across the street that anyone has ever seen.
You deftly dodge between carts and barrels and crates and people, merging between them and waiting for your moment to hop from one spot to the next. Meanwhile, Thorik is just making a racket, waddling down the street, trying to carry as much of this stuff as he can.
No attempt to be stealthy. No, just.
So,
doing everything that Johann is doing.
So in a mild retcon, Sergei, you don't see Johann coming, but you do certainly spot Thorik carrying all this armor, and then you're going to rush to him before he gets in.
Yeah, in eyesight.
Excellent.
Thorik. I can't see your face behind all the. Anyway, listen. Can you hear me?
Yeah, and I just kind of just like dump it down next to be like, whoa.
Look, slight. I don't know if it is problem or if it is success, but Saga has gone into the tavern That is... Did you say 4? Wait.
There are 4 on the porch, yeah.
There is 4 on the porch, and it seemed like it needed a lot of convincing to get her through, and they were all holding their weapons threateningly. So, I'm a little worried.
Grabs him like, what? You sent Margaret? Do you think you could have found someone that has a walking speed of more than 2 miles an hour?
Margaret is a lovely old lady, and she got you here, didn't she?
And I somber a bit, and I'm like, she was really lovely, actually.
Yes, thank you very much. She is very
I put him down gently.
Thank you.
I emerge from the shadows. This is a little concern.
Oh my god, Johann!
Has she gone inside? Has she come out yet?
Yes, no, she's gone in.
How many inside, do you know?
I don't know. I know there's 4 outside, which does not bode well.
Then we must wait until they emerge. If we hear the sound of fighting, we rush in and join them.
Or I have a little knack for pissing people off.
Oh,
I
dear.
could get those 4 to chase me, meaning the door is, open.
Or we could barricade the door once she leaves and then burn it to the ground.
I like it. We will have to deal with the 4 people outside first. Thorik,
Is there a
don't
back
worry
door?
about it.
Yes, we must survey the building.
Right, I'll stay here. You go look around. Go look at the building and like lean up against the fence like, whew.
Stealth
Alright.
walk. Like I cronk my Emperor's New Groove cronk around the tavern, surveying all possible exits.
All right, I'll keep your previous stealth check. So you kind of wait for a moment to pass through the eyesight of the eye line rather of the 4 ruffians that are on the porch, and make your way between some bushes round the side of the building. As you head round the side and veer round the back, you see that there's a small part of the building that kind of juts out a little bit. Again, really high windows all around the building. No low windows for you to be able to peek through at all. But there's this section that juts out, and there's kind of barrels and a broken cart out the back behind that sort of extension of the building. And you carry on round, and you can see there's a little outhouse around the back of the building with a footpath that leads to the northeastern corner of the building, which is the opposite side. The road is that you were all talking on was on the south end of the building, so this is the northeast corner of the building. There's a little back door into the main building with a path leading to that outhouse.
I tend to go round and go back to them. And probably like saw me go off, and then I appear behind them. So there is one back door. If we could distract them away from this door and get them to head to the back door, barricade it, and then barricade this one while we're away once she leaves.
Too many things that can go wrong. Too much burning. Is there like any? Are there any other like little buildings? Is there a shed? Is there anyone like watching the back door? Is there anyone on by themselves? What?
There is an outhouse. Presumably they use it for defecating and such.
I hope so. We could get the next person that takes a piss.
I like it.
You hide. I won't come anywhere near it. They'll hear me coming a mile off. You hide by the shit house, and the next person that goes for a piss, you grab them with you, and you do all your nasty interrogating things. What happens in the shithouse stays in the shithouse.
This is a good plan. We should We should have done this in the first place.
Almost like we should have scoped out the building like we said we were going to before we
sent Saga in unarmed and unarmored.
Just sending Saga into the sexist den.
The sexist den. Can that be the title of the episode?
Yeah, that's the episode.
Den.
Oh, that's clickbait right there.
So,
Okay.
Remind me of your plan.
Right. So
Well, I know what Saga would do, but yeah,
Saga's doing what Saga's doing. Because we have no idea
These
what's
guys are
going on.
gonna mess it up.
You hover by the back door and interrogate the next person who goes for shit. Me and Sergei stay here and act natural until the shit hits the fan, and then we'll run in. Everyone happy?
Yes.
do I require shit to throw at the fan? Where is
No.
this fan?
No. You know how like in like fancy gnomish places they have those like mechanical air things that. I'm getting off topic.
This is irrelevant.
You're irrelevant.
So, Johann, as you are attempting to retrace your steps, arguably tempting fate a second time, I would like you to roll another stealth check, but you can roll with advantage as you already know the route that you're likely going to be taking.
It's 21.
Rogue.
And another 21.
Beautiful. You got loaded dice there.
I'm beginning to suspect that I'm
On
going to have...
episode 21.
Yeah.
Oh!
All right.
I'm going to die later.
So you sneak around the back of the building by the outhouse, and we're going to cut back into the tap house, where you are having to keep up appearances, continue sipping on this wine, which, for all intents and purposes, tastes more like vinegar than wine.
Yeah, okay.
It's
yeah,
really
that's-
not pleasant at all.
I can deal with that. What was this guy's name? Sorry.
Tommy.
Tommy. Yes, Tommy. Okay, I'm gonna try because I would have kept my money on me. I'm gonna try and get Tommy as drunk as possible
Okay.
while keeping mine like one, just sipping on that one, making that wine glass last.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna try and get him. I'm gonna like be like, oh, I bet you can't finish this in 5 seconds.
Oh, you're gonna engage in some drinking competition
Well, yeah.
without drinking yourself.
Yes.
Like, oh, I'm such a lightweight.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
All right. Okay. So let's see. So presumably you're gonna get him some ale, right? So
Whatever. Do they have some really strong mead or something? What's the strongest thing they have in there?
well, I mean, you could really go hell for leather and get him like a pitcher of ale,
Yes.
like a gallon's worth of ale.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Which would be like 2 silver.
That's fine.
All right. So you've enticed him into this drinking competition, and he's feeling, as you know, very confident at this point in kind of, he feels like he's got you hooked in.
Yep.
And
I'm
like,
playing
yeah,
up to that. I'm like touching
Yeah.
his arm and being like, yeah.
Absolutely, and he's feeling like king of the world right now. Meanwhile, a lot of the other ruffians are still very much kind of keeping a close eye on what's going on. There's this feeling of certain discomfort, at least at your being there for sure. So let me just do a quick check. Okay, so in his overconfidence, he starts necking back this ale, and really loud swallowing, and just glugging it. He really looks like he wants to show off for sure, and he just, you see his eyes steadily glaze over. Almost instantaneously, he's drank that much, and he starts really like slurring his words really quite quickly. It hasn't taken a lot to get him drunk at all.
Okay, at this point, I'm going to. Well, I'm guessing I have to kind of half carry him, but I'm going to make it look like we're like about to leave and have some personal time elsewhere. And I'll probably say phrases like, I don't know. Oh, I can't wait to get you back to my bed. And then just drag him out. Drag him out of there.
Drag him out of the bar?
Yeah.
Out of from the whole building?
Yeah, whole building.
All right. So you drag him out, and how are you dragging him out exactly?
I'm like this, like making it look
fireman's
like what?
carry type thing?
No, I'm like embracing him.
Oh,
I'm trying to
okay.
make it look like we're like really
Into each
heavy petting. Okay,
Right, yeah,
I'm
okay.
embarrassing myself for this ruse.
You're doing so well.
Yeah.
Give me a performance check, please.
Oh, come on. He's paralytic.
17.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. So you drag him out, and you're
Imagine
really.
if it was like, you know what, this isn't right. We've
can't-
just met.
Come on.
No, the
This is
performance
going
check.
a little too fast.
The
for me.
performance check wasn't
Exactly.
for him; it was for everybody else that was witnessing him.
Oh, right, I see.
Are
Sorry.
you telling me this ruffian thug doesn't want casual sex? I mean, come on.
No, it wasn't for him. It was for everybody else.
Everyone else, you see Saga just like grab him by the back, like, right, come on, you, let's go have sex. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And as you kind of take him out, a lot of the other ruffians go, "Way,
Yeah.
go on, son!" All that sort of stuff, you know, all the horrible stuff. that
Yeah.
you hear. As you drag him out, and the four ruffians that are on the porch are just like, "All right, Tommy, got yourself a catch there, eh?" And the scrawny one's looking a little bit like, "I wanted to go in," to some of the others that are there. I thought it was my turn to relax and have a drink. Bloody hell! And
See, that would have been the easy mark. You know? I had to go for boss level bloody.
one of them goes, "Well, have fun then, you two. Make sure he looks after you," and he points to you.
Yeah, and I wink, and then I start. Saga's really hoping these guys are out somewhere, because I'm gonna
see
start
Thorik
going
and
around
Sergei.
the building, but make it look like I'm still holding up this ruse.
So you're going around the back of the building. Are you?
Yeah, I'm because we did not discuss this plan in detail. She's
Sure.
guessing.
So I'm going to cut back to Johann. So Johann, whilst all this has been going on,
Meanwhile, by the shitter.
you've been waiting by the outhouse, keeping an eye on the back door, and this dwarf woman kind of comes out the back door and heads towards the outhouse. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Is it the barmaid?
Yes.
See, I know what Johann would do.
Oh no, what are you gonna do?
No, he's intelligent enough to see that she's a barmaid. She looks like a barmaid.
She does look like a barmaid.
Okay. From the shadows.
Mm.
You know what? Cool. Psst. Psst.
She stops. She's got an empty wine bottle in her hand, and you see her headed into the outhouse. And as you kind of psst her, she kind of stops and looks around,
Over here.
and she turns to look at you, and she's like looking really uncomfortable.
Good woman. I mean you no harm. I'm in need of information. That is all I require.
What sort of information?
You run this place?
Aye?
I just need to ask you some questions about your clientele.
Well, I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
Well, I just don't. That's why.
Who
What do
are
you want? What?
I don't want anything from you. All right?
We just said you wanted information.
Why is it a bad idea to discuss them?
Well, I just don't think it's very wise, do you?
Tell me why it isn't wise. Are they dangerous? Are they holding you hostage?
She laughs. she says, "Oh, you're not from round here, are you?"
Do I look like I'm from around here?
Well, no, I can't say I've seen you before.
So tell me about them.
Go on your way if I were you.
Wait. Before you go.
that was badly timed.
Before you go, I must tell you that if those men in there are harming you in any way, we will help bring them to justice.
Roll me a persuasion check, please.
This is where my luck runs out. 14 plus 0 is 14.
Okay. She her kind of arrogant demeanor kind of drops for a moment. She says, "Well, thank you very much, but I really don't need your help, so thank you very much." And she heads into the outhouse, and you just hear her kind of plonking some things around and going about her business.
Well, that went well.
So, Saga, you drag Tommy out, and you're dragging him round the back, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to find my companions because I've got one.
So
Do we see this?
Yeah, you two, Sergei and Thorik, you have seen her come out and drag him around the back of this building, and as you're dragging him back, Johann, you see Saga, after having just talked to this dwarf, you see Saga drag this very drunken-looking, rather rough-looking man around the back.
Is there any way I can obstruct the back door? Is it like a barrel I can move?
Yeah, there are loads of... If you remember, there was that broken cart and loads of barrels around the back of the sort of extension part of the building. You could probably roll one of those into the doorway.
I'll do that then.
All right, cool.
Right. Tip it over, roll it. No, my luck, it'll be a pull door rather than a push door.
So you roll the barrel into position as Saga's coming round the back with this guy. Sergei and Thorik, what are you doing?
But we follow.
Sure. So you follow around the back.
Just in case this gentleman tries to get what he thinks he's getting.
I mean, like, would it not? Saga can help herself. Like, if you try and get him away from the building, otherwise, if he catches on, if like Johann's going to start getting heavy-handed, and then he can call out to them, "We need to get them away from the building." Go, 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 go! And I like push Sergei. I'm like, go, 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 go! Thorik's like biting his nails, staying away because he's like he makes too much noise to get anywhere close. He's just like,
I had to for gentleman at the front of this fine establishment.
So you're heading for the four guys at the front.
no. Yep. What? I'm looking at Sergei like, no.
What do you mean?
I was like, go get Saga.
Oh, okay.
Get her to come They need to get away from the building, not them. Leave them. They've seen them fucking leave.
Thorik, when you say they, it was very unclear.
I'm sorry.
Sergei's just stood in the
sorry.
middle of the road. The four guys are just watching Sergei, like, talking to a pile of crates and barrels on the other side of the road.
I'm just stressed. I'm sorry. Try and get, like, we can't interfere. Try and get, like, if this guy thinks he's getting lucky, get him to go to the fucking room that we've booked. So and then Saga
Okay. I'll head round the back then.
Go.
Okay.
Ignore them.
Can you give me a stealth check, please? Sergei?
Oh my god. Do not undermine all the hard work I did, okay?
That'll be a very confident 9.
Okay. So you kind of you turn, notice that the Redbrands have kind of been watching this conversation, and you kind of give them a nod, and then kind of run around and kind of take the long way around to try and shake them off your tail, which may or may not have been successful at this point. We will find out. So Saga, you dump this guy who is he is off his face, and he's just like, he's slumped against the wall and kind of pretty much sat on the ground, slumped up against the wall. And is
Are we still against the building?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And you've just seen Johann kind of stop putting a barrel kind of in place in front of this doorway. So it's you, Johann, and this now drunken ruffian.
Okay, so he's drunk. We're guessing he can't, like, hear us. He's too out of it.
I mean,
right?
he's a bit out of it, yeah.
Okay. Johann! Give me your hand!
Ask him questions. We might not need to torture him.
We need to move him away from this building, okay? We need to take him somewhere where we can ask him questions, okay?
All right, you move him. I'll follow you.
Where am I taking him? Because right now, he thinks we're going back to the room. Have sex. I'm not going to do that.
Are we frozen for anyone else?
Yeah, he's frozen.
He's like,
I actually thought he was well and truly in the moment then, in shock. But no, he has frozen. Well, whilst
okay, if Johann doesn't answer, I'm gonna take Tommy again and then just start moving him. We need to get him away from this building.
Okay. Which direction are you headed? Are you headed towards the road, or are you headed away from the road?
If I go, where's the least populated area?
Well, if you head away from the road, you're headed towards kind of a more kind of grassy area that's not really been built up. It's in the northeast corner of the town. There's a lot of grass and trees and stuff, so not really
I'm gonna go that
populated.
way, because if I lead him through town to the tavern, I think that'll be too much.
Sure.
I'm gonna go towards the grassy area.
So you head north.
And I'm like, oh, Tommy! Just fucking try and drag him.
You head
Ruse.
north. And Sergei, as you're coming around the back of the building, you see Saga with this ruffian kind of, she's manhandling him, dragging him through the town. Well, not through the town, through the
knows
sort of
what
grassy
she's
area.
doing.
And there's kind of like a tree that you kind of leaning up against Saga, and he's just...
Can I see if I've been followed?
You certainly can. Give me a perception check.
That'll be a 16.
16. Doesn't look like you've been followed.
Okay. I'll follow Saga, maybe?
Sure. So
Yeah,
you're
I'll
heading
follow
towards
Saga.
the tree with Tommy and Saga.
Yeah.
All right. So
I'll just keep a distance so I don't interfere.
what would you like to do next?
Sergei, do you have any rope? Any rope? Rope! Something to tie him up with.
Let me just check. Hold on, Saga, slow down.
We don't have time, okay? Before he sobers up.
Pull out my rope. Will this do?
Thank you. And then I'll tie Tommy's hands.
All right. And he doesn't put up much resistance. He's like, if anything, he's kind of enjoying the prospect of you tying him up.
Good.
Like, hey, I see where this is going.
Saga.
And I'm like, yes, exactly that.
who's your mate? And he just points towards Sergei.
Hello, I am here for. Buy one get one free. That's kind of what you got.
Yes, it's a group thing. It really turns me on. Now just sit there
And
for a second.
as you kind of finish tying the knot, you kind of see panic start to appear in his eyes at the prospect of Sergei being in on this this rendezvous of sorts.
It's like to crack my knuckles.
And you prepare, I suppose, to interrogate him, which I guess would be a good place to stop this episode before we get into all the nitty-gritty. So thanks to those of you watching for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will catch you next time.